You know, it's easy to think our world is all about modern genius. But what if I told you its entire operating system, the very code it runs on, was actually written thousands of years ago? That's what we're doing today. We're going to uncover that ancient code that our modern lives are literally built on.
Seriously, just think about it for a second. The device you're watching this on right now, the numbers you use every single day, even just the idea of a 365-day year, they all feel so now, right? But believe it or not, they all share a common ancestor, and it's way, way older than you think.
Yep, that's right. Their roots go back thousands of years. It's like we're surrounded by the brilliant ghosts of ancient inventions. So let's do it. Let's peel back the layers of our modern world and see the incredible, mind-blowing legacy these civilizations left for us. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the software of civilization. I mean, the invisible code that runs pretty much everything, writing and mathematics. And this isn't just some dusty old history lesson. No, this is the story of how we, as a species, first figured out how to record and share knowledge. It's fundamental.
Okay, now this is where things get really cool. Look at the huge leap in thinking here. On one side, you've got Egyptian hieroglyphs. Basically, you draw a picture of a bird to mean bird. Simple enough. But then, look at the Mesopotamian cuneiform. They had a breakthrough. They realized, wait, what if we make symbols for sounds instead of things? That was a total game changer. Suddenly, you could write down any word you could speak. It was a massive, massive upgrade for communication.
So how do you invent, well, nothing? It sounds like a riddle, right? But the concept of zero was an absolutely world-changing breakthrough. I mean, before zero, trying to write a number like 102 was super awkward. You'd have to leave a weird gap. By creating a symbol for that empty space, mathematicians in India and, completely separately, the Mayan Empire, they unlocked the door to advanced algebra and all sorts of complex calculations. It's incredible.
Okay, ever wonder why there are 60 seconds in a minute? Or 60 minutes in an hour? Or why a circle has 360 degrees? Well, you can thank the Mesopotamians for that. They built their entire number system around the number 60. Why? Well, probably because it's super easy to divide into smaller parts, which makes fractions a breeze. And it's just wild to think that this ancient mathematical choice still controls how every single one of us measures time every single day.
All right, so we've talked about the software. Now let's get into the hardware of civilization. We're talking about the physical stuff, the incredible inventions and engineering marvels that allowed empires to literally build cities from the ground up, feed millions of people, and stretch their influence all across the globe.
Think about it. Before a city could grow into an empire, before you could trade goods across continents, you had to solve a really basic problem. How do you move heavy stuff around without just, dragging it? There was one invention that changed everything, and it's so fundamental to our lives now that we barely even notice it.
The wheel, of course. The first evidence we have for it pops up in Mesopotamia. And it wasn't just for carts and chariots, not by a long shot. It was also a total game changer for making pottery, and it became a key part of all sorts of early machines. This simple little circle, it literally got civilization rolling.
Speaking of hardware, the Romans were absolute masters of practical engineering. And their aqueducts? A perfect example. Just look at how they did it. This wasn't magic, it was pure genius. Step 1. Find water up high. Step 2. Let gravity do all the work. The real trick was building a canal with a super precise, gentle slope that stretched for miles and miles. And if they came to a valley, no problem. They didn't go around it, they built these incredible arches to go straight across. This whole system brought fresh, clean water right into their cities, which is how they could support these huge populations and keep things sanitary.
And hey, it wasn't just the Romans. Look at this list of marvels. The sheer scale is it's breathtaking. You've got the Great Wall of China, built to protect an entire empire. The Egyptian irrigation canals that literally turned desert into lush farmland. The giant ziggurats in Mesopotamia, reaching for the sky, all made out of simple mud bricks. And then you have the Aztec chinampas, these incredible floating gardens they built for farming. This is human ambition made real, right here. Okay, so you've got your software, writing and math, you've got your hardware, amazing engineering, but how do you get millions of people to actually live together and work together without everything falling apart? Well, for that, you need a blueprint for society itself. You need things like government and laws. And listen to this quote from the Athenian leader Pericles. The administration is in the hands not of a few, but of the majority. Today, that might sound normal, but back then, that was a radical idea. Before this, all the power belonged to kings, or emperors, or a small group of priests. The Greeks in Athens tried something totally different. They said, hey, maybe the citizens themselves should have the power. Now, it wasn't perfect by any means, but this wild experiment they called democracy, it became a core idea for the entire Western world.
So how do you actually organize that power and make it fair? Well, here are two very different approaches. On the one hand, you have Hammurabi's Code from Babylon. It was one of the first big written legal codes, and it was famous for its really strict and eye for an eye kind of justice. But then you have Roman law, which evolved into something different. It started focusing on ideas like public rights and having a fair process. And Roman law was so influential that it's still the foundation for legal systems in tons of countries today. All right, let's wrap this up with a fun, rapid-fire round. We're going to look at some of the incredible inventions we've inherited from the ancient world, and I bet some of these are going to surprise you.
Just get a load of this list. From China, we got gunpowder and the compass, two things that completely changed warfare and exploration forever. From India, we got amazing, high-quality steel. From Egypt, the techniques for manufacturing glass. And check this out. From the Aztecs, we got stuff we can't imagine living without. Chocolate, vanilla, and yes, even chewing gum. It's this incredible inheritance from all corners of the ancient world.
Figuring out how to track time was a huge deal for pretty much every ancient civilization. I mean, look at this. The Mesopotamians were working with a 360-day calendar. The Aztecs got super close with 365 days. But then you look at the Egyptians, 365 and a quarter days. That is astonishingly accurate. They figured out we needed a leap year thousands of years before our modern calendar was even a thing. Just incredible.
So what does this all mean? What's the big takeaway here? Well, it's that we're basically living inside a giant museum, and most of the time, we don't even notice the exhibits all around us. The way we structure our minutes and hours, the legal ideas that keep our societies fair, the very numbers we use to make sense of the world, they're all ancient artifacts, brilliant ideas passed down to us through thousands of years. And that really leaves us with one final big question to think about. The ancient world left us the wheel, democracy, the number zero. So, what are we creating right now? In our science, our technology, our societies, what are the things that people thousands of years from now will look back on and say, wow, that was the foundation of their world? What's our echo going to be?